Let's talk about premium and what you're teaching, what this book teaches.
Yeah, sure. So that one is really about the fact that you've let other people control your prices. For one thing, if you are charging the market rate, then you're letting your competitors set your prices for you. If you are running your prices past anybody else, the other people, who else do we ask? We ask our customers. Well, our customers aren't interested in our profits, so if we ask them, what should we be charging for this, they're going to give us the lowest price possible. But really, what we've got to find out is, what are they prepared to pay for it? And so what we've got to do there is create the kinds of offers that will make them be willing to pay more for something. So.
And this was launched just recently, folks. It's number 4 already for marketing under entrepreneurship in Amazon.
Yep. Against some pretty stiff competition as well. But yeah, so the book is really about building relationships, creating value, and having the right kinds of conversations with people, and doing it about offers that we've crafted to be as irresistible as possible. And I talk about, we talk a lot about unique sales propositions, and people have come to the realization, yeah, I've got to have a USP about why my business is unique. I actually talk about 5 different propositions that you've got to make, way beyond just the sales proposition. You've got to look at every aspect of the offer that you're making and tweak that to make it as appealing and as high value as possible. There's some interesting counterexamples that I give in the book about stuff that ought to be commoditized but isn't. You can walk down to Walmart or drive down to Walmart and buy a 6-pack of ladies' underwear for $10, and yet you can find people who are selling a single pair for $308, and it's not about the amount of silk that they've got in them. You can present people with, there's a great example in there of wine, taken from a study that was done at Caltech, where if people were told that a wine was more expensive, they actually enjoyed it more, and the psychologists were scanning their brains as they drank it, and the areas that are associated with pleasure lit up when they were told it was a $500 bottle of wine instead of when they were told it was a $5 bottle of wine, even though it was the same wine.
Yeah, well, you have another interesting story about coffee being premium price.
Yeah, there's that one. I was kind of skirting around that one because a few people are grossed out by it. But so the world's most expensive coffee is Kopi Luwak, and instead of going and paying $5 for a bag of Kopi Luwak, you buy it by the ounce, and it costs $60 an ounce. And the interesting thing about Kopi Luwak is how it's made. Most coffee is just a 2-stage process. You pick it, you roast it. There's a 3rd stage in the production of Kopi Luwak, which is that it has to be eaten by a wildcat in Indonesia. And the wildcat then excretes it after a few hours, and it's the bean that's inside the cherry. It's digested the cherry, the bean is left, and then some poor soul has to come along and pick the coffee beans out of the cat poo and roast them up.
I expect that it was actually in the monkey's belly before it was in the cat's belly. Otherwise, how did it get in the cat's belly? It makes the wheels turn, that story. But
it makes something turn, that's for sure.
might have been a 2 or 3-step process there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the point is, if somebody can sell boiled roasted cat poop for $60 an ounce, then whatever it is you're doing has to be worth more than that. If they can find a way to sell that, then you can sell what you're doing at a premium rate.